I recently read the book Deep Work by author Cal Newport Cal defines deep work as professional activities performed during a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive abilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to duplicate. J.K. Rowling used deep work to finish the last word book of her Harry Potter series, The Deathly Hallows, in 2007. She needed to escape the distraction of screaming kids and barking dogs, so she checked into a bunch during a 5-star hotel in downtown Edinburgh, Scotland. She says, "I didn't shall stay there, but the first day's writing went well, so I kept coming, which I ended up finishing the last of the Harry Potter books here." Gates used D-Pad 1974 to program the first version of BASIC in mere 8 weeks. Cal says that Gates worked with such intensity for such lengths during the 2-month stretch that he would often collapse into sleep on his keyboard within the center of writing a line of code. He would then sleep for an hour to awaken and procure right where he left off. The essential software that Gates wrote in 8 weeks while in an exceedingly state of deep work became the muse of a billion-dollar company. Author Cal Newport, an MIT graduate and Georgetown professor, claims that deep work allowed him to double his output of research papers while raising a family, putting this on Inkbook and teaching full-time at a prestigious university. The first 2 cases, Gates and J.K. Rowling, can be extreme because the ultimate public haven't got the flexibleness to travel off the grid and do deep work for weeks at a time, but Cal shows that we are able to maintain a busy schedule and still find ways to undertake to deep work and produce significant winds up in our lives that others find hard to duplicate. But how exactly does deep work end in these best-selling books, innovative products, and elite levels of productivity? While neuroscientists have found that intense periods of focus in isolated fields of labor causes myelin to develop in relevant areas of the brain. Myelin are often a white tissue that develops around neurons and allows brain cells to fireplace faster and cleaner. So in an exceedingly sense, once we practice deep work, we upgrade our brains and permit specific brain circuits to fireside more effortlessly and effectively. The brain upgrade we get from deep work allows you to rapidly connect ideas and uncover creative solutions. In today's economy, the ability to undertake to deep work is increasingly valuable and increasingly rare. It's valuable because once you produce something great in our hyper-connected world, it is the flexibleness to spread to billions of people. Producing something great is critical to face out amongst the noise and avoid being forgotten by the flood of information that we house on a day-to-day basis. Consider your last tweet. How long did it last? How quickly was it forgotten? Deep work is becoming increasingly rare because deep work requires undivided attention, and our world is being full of more and more tempting distractions. Therefore, the flexibility to undertake to deep work is becoming increasingly difficult. Co-workers expect you to instantly answer an email or a second message. Employers want you to function in an open office concept of constant distraction. Your friends and followers online expect you to need care of a social media presence. It's not enough to undertake to ignore these distractions. We are hardwired to be distracted and concentrate to novelty. In an exceedingly varied 2012 study led by psychologists Wilhelm Hoffman and Roy Baumeister involving 205 adults found that we are only ready to resist temptations to want an opportunity from work to check email, surf the web, or watch TV just half the time. But there's hope. You will be able to build a scale of deep work and escape the trap of constant distraction separates you from the packaging and makes you indispensable in today's economy. Here are 3 deep work strategies that you can incorporate into your schedule to increase your focus and achieve results that are difficult to replicate for the first time in periods of distraction at home and in most of us work. To allow ourselves to go online at any given moment and checking our phone whenever we whistle or knock. But doing that is training your mind to avoid deep work on a day full of unscheduled distractions. Is training your mind to give in to any and all sources of distraction. Build your endurance to avoid the distraction. You need to set limits on your distraction. Keep a diary nearby and place the next distraction break that will keep you focused until the time. At first it will be painful, but remember that doing so is effective. Repetitions who build your ability to focus. Second, develop rhythmic deep work rituals. Cal says is the easiest way to start consistently deep work. Choose is to turn it into a simple regular habit. The goal, in other words, is to create a rhythm for that action that removes the need to invest energy in deciding if to go deep and when to use. Cal several examples in a book to show that scheduling portions of deep focus in an ad hoc way does not result in much productivity at all for people who are not experienced with doing deep work. It is better for them to have a recurring time every day or every week to delve into work. Early in the morning is usually the best time to do it because at that time you usually don't have to deal with requests received. Research shows that people new to deep work can usually only do this for about an hour, and deep work masters can usually maintain their attention for up to 4 hours at intervals of 60 to 90 minutes throughout the day. So the ultimate goal for each day is inculcating deep work rituals throughout the day with the ultimate goal of building some of your deep works. You practice RK for 4 hours a day. The third strategy for developing deep work in your life is to have a daily shutdown of full ritual sleep is the price we need to pay in order to do deep work. It is the benefit we pay on intensive focus loans required to do deep work to ensure we get enough sleep and restore our awaited reserves for the next day. Cal recommends that we incorporate the evening close into our daily routine. Evening closing rituals include creating a plan to complete any unfinished tasks or projects the next day. Having a series of steps the next day is enough to banish items off your mind so you can disconnect for the rest of the day. When things get out of your mind, you regain the ability to sleep well and do deep work the next day. After Cal has completed his plan for the next day, he will tell himself that the shutdown is complete. It's too cheesy, but he says it's a great guide to separate it at the end. Deep work is critical, easy to use because it changes your mind and allows you to produce innovative work that is difficult to replicate, and that was the basic message I gathered from the book. Cal the Great. Cal does a great job teaching deep work rituals and reducing the fear of leaving shallow work behind. We highly recommend this book to anyone looking to create something meaningful in this world. Thanks for watching.